What's up, guys? Tim Halstead here for episode 6 of tearing down the 408 and making way for the DragBoss 427, which I've been saying for the past 5 episodes. But as in racing, nothing always happens the way it should be. So it's been a while since I've been on video, at least like the end of November. And I apologize for that. It's just, you know, life happens. Holidays, kids stuff, that kind of things, but I'm trying to focus and get back on it. And here's where I'm at. I'm on plan B now. So the DragBoss that I got from Tim Meyer has been poured, but it's not machined. It's the end of January now. There ain't no way I'm going to be ready to race by the end of April. And I'm not sitting out another season. I want to race. So at this point, it's smarter. I've had a couple offers for this 408, and I appreciate that, guys. I probably should have sold it, but now I got plan B because I want to go racing. You know, I just don't think I can make it by April with the DragBoss 427. I'm not stopping that build, and I'm still going to put it on here, but at this point, we're building this old bear. See if we can get 950s off the trailer. I think I got some issues with the rings. You know, I don't like the gap. Can't wait to look and see what the bearings look like. I don't know about you guys, but it's cold. Today I woke up, it was -4 degrees. With wind chill, it's -33. A lot of people out up north, Minnesota, those guys are having like wind chill factors of -55 and 7. It's crazy. So I'm in my nice little toasty garage, although it's not too warm, and I had the heater on. And a lot of you guys can relate to this. For years, I'd always had either a propane heater or a kerosene heater or salamander or whatever back in the day. Those things make you sick. I got so tired of it, and I said, when I can afford it, I'm going to have a gas heat in every garage I ever have. And so I got this heater up here. It's a Mr. Heater Big Max 80,000 BTU. It works pretty good. Freaking herniated a disc putting it up there, but I guess it's worth it. I'm surviving. But back to the point. At this point, I'm going to start tearing this down like I had talked about, and I'm going to try to get things moving. I want to change the oil. Nothing's really changed here since last time you saw a video, maybe a different toolbox. And another Barry Grant pump. I don't know why. I like to collect those things. I've always used Barry Grant pumps, never had no issues with them. They work good for me. But in regards to the oil, there's so many debates on oil on the internet. You know, synthetic versus, you know, what is it, dinosaur-based or, you know, conventional. I don't know. I kind of went with what my builders always told me, and at one time I always ran Castrol GTX 2050 all the time because I run loose clearances. You know, to me they make power, and that's why I run a high-volume oil pump. And in this situation, what I've learned with the Cleveland is they need a lot of sun. You ain't going to get by with no 6-quart pan or 7-quart pan. It ain't going to work. If you're going to race that thing and you're going to run it past 7,500 RPM, they need oil. They need that volume. Now, I've never seen the valve covers get full of oil and drain it all out. I don't know that whole story. I've heard people talk about that. I never had that issue. You know, important thing, you make sure the drain backs are open. A lot of times they don't line up, and if you go through the head with a wire, or you can even look with a light, you can see that the holes aren't perfectly machined and parallel together. Sometimes there's a little bump in there you got to grind out and you fix it. You know, that's the little things that make a Cleveland live. You got to look for those little things. But anyway, so I was going to drain the oil out of this. I've been using Brad Penn 2050. I think it's a semi-synthetic. One time I went for a tour when I was a mechanic way back in the day in the 80s to Bradford, Pennsylvania, where they make Kendall, which is the Brad Penn brand. And it's paraffin-based back then. It was a great tour. I used to send them oil and have them analyze it, and they could tell you a lot of information on it. But that's really the only 2 oils I've ever ran. When you have something that works, you stick with it, and that's what I've done with this, with the Cleveland. That's how I make mine survive. I find out what works, and then I just do it the same way. It's no different than any other job that you do. In my situation, medicine, I do it the same way every time. That way you don't miss something or forget something. So the same with building a motor. When you find out that what works, that trick or that secret, you stick with it. So let's drain this oil out of here. It's not too warm in here. It's probably in the 60s. But that ain't bad considering it's a high right now of like 0 degrees. Now this pan's a Moroso 9-quart pan. They don't even make them anymore. I think I bought the last one from a sales guy on Yellow Bullet. I can't remember his name, but he works for them. So the thing that kills me about this is a brand new oil change. When I had a problem with the ring gear before I wanted to go racing and had chewed the teeth off, I'd done an oil change on it. The thing fired. I ran it. It was good. I went to load it and get ready to go, and it started grinding into the flex plate. And I'm like, oh, I'm done. So this oil probably only has about 15 or 20 minutes. It's like, do you save it and put it back in? No, it's not worth it. You know there's dirt in this motor. There's some kind of grime that got that oil contaminated. So, like I said, it's a 9-quart pan, and that makes a difference if you're going to race at Cleveland. You're going to run over 7,500. You're using a solid lifter cam or solid roller restriction kit or Tim Meyer's cam bearings. To me, are a must with a high volume pump. And like I said, I like looser clearances, a little more than 3,000s on the mains. But not too crazy. Loose is fast, too loose, you're done. So, it's taking a while for that oil to drain. But that's my plan. So here's some more insight. The block, I was going to do something with Tim Meyer about it. And right now, if you've kept up with him on Facebook, he's not into doing any more machine work. I'm kind of disappointed, but that's how it rolls. So I'm either going to do this myself. I got a couple connections I'm going to hook up with. The newest guy I hooked up with is Reher-Morrison. Great guy. Him and I have been texting a lot. We've been talking a lot. I sent him my AFD heads because I was just trying to get rid of them, and no one wanted to buy them. I talked to Scott Cook a couple of weeks ago. Great guy. Thanks for talking to me, Scott. But it came to the realization that those heads that he has, his race heads, they ain't no joke, man. Those things will flow. They're going to make 800 horsepower without even thinking about it. The issues with me is, then I need all new rocker arms set up, Jessel set up, and I need all new valves and titanium valves and springs, and, and they're in Australia. The shipping alone is $500. I mean, that's a $5,000 set of heads, and from my standpoint right now, probably more. You look at a set of titanium intakes; those are $900 to $1,000. Can't do it right now. It's not a smart move. Not if I want to race. So, Darren, thanks for helping me out. He's taking care of the heads. He said those things will flow 400 without any issues. I'm actually going to send him my Air Supremacy intake, which he helped design. So he's going to kind of match those two up for the DragBoss 427, unless I decide to go with Cook's heads. I mean, right now, that's my plan, and it changes. It's dynamic, just like anything else in racing. It doesn't stay still. It's always moving and ever changing, and those are the variables you have to work with to be successful and to make things work out the way you want them to. So, thank you, Darren, and a shout out to you. I got this motor here that I was messing with. These have the Yates heads and the matching intake. Actually, I made a deal with Bruce Weiss. He's going to take them off my hands. I appreciate that, Bruce. And I'm going to work on a set of Blue Thunder 3.6s. Not sure what I'm going to do with them, but I wanted to set, so I may build another motor. It's one of those things I don't know. I kind of have a problem with sometimes collecting parts, like some people do, so it's not unusual. But, boom. We're going to have an overflow here in about 2 seconds. Sorry, man. Oh yeah, this is nice and green. Clean. Just like this here, I don't like messes. I put down some drapes. If I'm going to drain this oil, I don't want it getting all over the floor. But I'll let that thing drain. At least get started on a video so I know you guys have been waiting and people are interested in it, and I don't want to leave you hanging. I'm not really going to tear any more down, just get the oil draining, let that sit for a couple days after work, and I'll get back on it this weekend. We'll try to get it tore down. I like to get the heads off it and look at the bearings and stuff. And then the bottom line is, if this block, I tear it down and the block's good, because I don't know about the bore. You know, I did, if you watch the video I made on cylinder leakage test, one of the cylinders, they were all pretty good, but I did have a cylinder that was like 9% and one was like 10. So I want to see what it looks like inside there. You know, if the bores get egg-shaped, oblong, when you start hitting the high RPMs and making horsepower and high compression, regardless of if you fill them. That's just, they're just a weak block, man. We all know that. It's nothing new. And if it looks good and I can put a new set of rings in, then that's what I'm doing it. I'll just have it rehoned and ringed. It comes out and it looks good, it's going back together. We'll see what happens with it. I know, I just want to make sure, you know, this is a motor that I helped put together, but I didn't do the measuring on the clearances, and I'm going by someone's word that they were okay, and when I see some other work, I'm just going to do it myself. And I haven't built a motor in a while. I think the last one I built was a 377 Cleveland. That was actually one of the first strokers I got from Ford Performance Solutions. You know, that thing was running in my car with iron 4V heads, 3,500 pounds. I was running 1095, and that was fun. So that's where I'm at. I'm going to keep you posted. I'll try to post more videos a lot sooner. People have asked about some other stuff. I did the CalTrack video. I'm actually putting some leaf springs in here. New set of mono leafs. I think after 20-something years they're done. You know, I don't think they're going to be able to handle the power. It's got a little bit of a lean to it, so I think they're worn out. People might be interested in seeing that video, or see I did how I set up CalTracks, other stuff on my suspension. You know, the suspension, you can make all the power you want, but if you can't get it to the ground, you ain't going nowhere. So, and that's the attention to details where you chip away at that 60 foot, and that's where you come up with the results that you want and the goal that you decided on. So I'm going to cut it off there. I don't think there's much more to say. I appreciate you tuning in. Please share this and subscribe to my channel, and hopefully we can get some more follows. We started with like 30 people, now we have like 200 people. That's pretty good. I'm impressed with that, and I appreciate that. And hopefully everyone can learn something from this whole episode, and then we can get this thing back together, and then we'll see what it does at the track. You know, we'll be able to, I take video of inside the car. I need more on the outside, but I just got to find someone that can video. You know, people probably have videos of my car and I didn't even know it. It'd be nice to send them to me, man, or put them on YouTube. Send them to my channel, or however that works. We'll figure something else. But I appreciate everything, and you guys take it easy. Subscribe and share.